Now let's talk about like content creation, personal branding. You are yourself a content creator. You are talking a lot about personal branding in today's world where a lot of competition out there. So many people have a lot of subscriber, a lot of followers. How someone can create or grow their personal brand from scratch? How somebody can build their personal brand?
And so if we want to build a personal brand, and I think personal brand is one of the most important concepts in the last 10 years and perhaps the next 50 years, I'm not sure, but if we want to build one, what do we have to do? Well, we have to be able to have something to say. We have to be able to inspire or entertain people so that they look at us as the source of that information. Now, the world is drowning in information. We're over communicated to. And so that means that information is not as valuable as it used to be. If you look at it, historically speaking, universities were the gatekeepers of information. You would go to university, you have this amazing library, access to professors, and then they would teach you. But when information is so readily available outside of that, does that mean universities have no value? No, they still have value because now
Yes.
they become the curators of the information to say like, you can read 500 books on these two subjects, or you can read the three that we know are the best books, and we'll teach it to you in a way that you're not going to get from somebody else. And so when we transfer that idea of the university as being the curator of information or knowledge, then we can say, well, people can be curators of information and knowledge as well. So if you like me, if you like my perspective, like the way I think or the way I communicate, or maybe just the tone of my voice or the way my face is shaped, then you're more likely going to listen to me than someone else. So I've done the work
Right.
for you.
True.
I've read the books, I've watched the videos, I've curated it, and I've said, this is what you need to hear or to learn or to listen to at this moment in time. And then you find value in that. And so the person who is able to bring an audience together creates tremendous value for both the audience and for themselves. Because now marketers, advertisers, and companies say, we love the audience, the community that you've built. We'd like to talk to them through you. So then they give you money to talk about the things that you care about. And then we all help each other in that kind of ecosystem.
Definitely. The way you adding value in the marketplace, the way you providing information is how you are influencing people. Is it positively, is it negatively? And that's how you are building your personal brand over the period of time. That's a something very much insight. So when somebody is building their personal brand, there is so many things they have to keep in mind. So what are some of the common mistake people are following, people are doing when they are on the journey to building their personal brand? Whatever the mistake that you see over the period of time, people are doing same mistake when they are building their personal brand.
The number one biggest mistake that people make when they build their personal brand is to not to be authentic. And it's a term that people use a lot, but I don't know if everybody has the same understanding of it. So let's figure this out. What does it mean to be authentic? Authenticity is who you are when no one's watching. Okay, it's who you are when no one's watching. And so what happens in social media is we start to edit and curate our lives such that it's no longer a reflection of who we really are. And to be honest, we all do it to a degree, but the gap in which that exists between who you are when no one's watching and who you show up and pretend to be, the bigger the gap, the less authentic you are. Like, for example, if I show up on this interview today and I'm unshaven, I haven't showered, or I look really disheveled because that's just how I am normally, you might not take me seriously. You might say like, Chris, you're not really showing up to be a professional. Or if my microphone is terrible or the lighting is bad, you were like, well, I don't know what's going on. So there is some degree of showing up. But if I go on and say, if I have certain beliefs and views about things and I change what I say so that you will accept me, that I'm creating a persona, a version of myself to be accepted. And this is how I see most people do it. They show up as some fake version of themselves, a persona, because they're afraid that when people find out who they are and what their beliefs and values are, that they'll no longer care. So now what you have is you have an audience who shows up, who doesn't really know who you are, and it's not really you anyways. And so you're perpetuating some kind of myth. And that's the exact opposite of how you build a personal brand. Number two is the motivation. I think a lot of people build a personal brand because first they don't understand what it is, but what they're trying to do is to market their products or services. So it's a veil, and it's a thinly veiled thing that they put up. Like, this is who I am. Oh, by the way, buy this. This is who I am. Buy this, buy this, buy this. So what happens is when we teach, when we present, we give value. And when we pitch,
Yes.
we take it back. It works against the opposite kind of spectrum of creating or taking away goodwill. So if I show up every single day and I try to help people, that's going to generate positive feelings, sentiments, goodwill. If I keep pitching, I erode the goodwill until there's no goodwill left and people get tired of you because you're pitching all the time. So I would say like those are two of the biggest mistakes. So number 3 is we think we can just figure it out. Sometimes we can, but what we need to do is we need to get help. And the way I would suggest people get help with this is the number one thing, and I've said this before, is to go and see a therapist, to get in touch with who you are, to work out your inner demons so that you can let go of this persona, this facade that you show up as, and to start to reveal your true self. You probably need to take some writing courses or learn how to write so that you can clearly articulate your ideas in ways that are more likely to be read and shared. Those are a couple of things I would do.
Number 1, authentic. Be authentic. How you are showing up in your personal life, show same way in social media. Every time if you are just thinking like, okay, I wanted to pitch this guy something, that's not you are building your personal brand. You are just a money minded person who is always running behind money, like, okay, I want to sell this person something and I wanted to get that something from out of them. And third is not asking for help. That I love this quote, like, if you don't ask, the answer is always no. If you are going to ask, people are going to help you. That's 3 very powerful things which everybody have to follow in order to become a really great personal brand and avoid this 3 mistake. That's really beautiful.